Boom! Yes, folks, Hume again. All good. In this video, I want to just discuss the Form 5 Add Maths and the Form 5 Maths. Right, let me start with the Add Maths. So, if your child doing Add Maths, by this point, they should be finished or almost finished with the entire syllabus if they were doing Add Maths from Form 4 coming all the way up. Right? If that is the case, then what you really need at this point is to get into the realm of exam practice. And I was talking about starting from now. We're not waiting until the end of March. And then you want to stay up whole night in April to be doing past papers. And now we want to read all the solutions and watch all the solution videos without taking the time to really think and meditate almost on the solutions. Give them the proper attention that they need so that you could learn in a genuine way from the past papers, as opposed to just doing the past papers to feel as if you're doing something, and doing the past papers from a point of view of trying to remember or to recall. Right? The questions could come in a variety of different ways. So the most important thing is that you have to be able to think and not necessarily to regurgitate. Right? So we're not in the business of remembering solutions. You do 10 past papers and you remember all the solutions and you're hoping that the exam comes exactly the way you want it to come. We're trying to build fundamentals. We're trying to encourage thinking so that whatever they throw at you in the exam, you could feel confident, first of all, that you could give it a proper fight. And then when you give it a proper fight, you have a better chance of getting a good result. Right? That is what it is about. That is what it is about. So, if you want to send your child, send them. We're doing all the past papers. And we're doing extra stuff too. Right? And of course, the Add Maths will also filter back into your maths. So if you want to send them to do Add Maths and the maths, you could send them to do that too. Alright? Generally speaking, by the time somebody in Form 5 doing Add Maths, they would have had a very decent command of the maths. And they would know, they would need to do too much. But sometimes, even though they're doing Add Maths, and in the second term in Form 5, they might still need a little thing in the maths. Right? And as you know, or as you would suspect, in a lot of cases, sometimes problems in the Add Maths, the root of the problem start back in the maths, not in the Add Maths. Right? So if any maths and you're having problems with straight lines and coordinate geometry, that is going to show up when you have to deal with the equation of a circle. If you're doing maths and you're having problems with indices, that will show up when you have to deal with logs. So all of these things we will be touching on. Right? Of course, I wouldn't be teaching everything over. Right? I have video playlists on the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, covering most of the topics on the Add Maths syllabus. There are other people who put out stuff that they could look at as well. In a lot of cases, people would have access to the notes from prior work in school with the teacher in school and whatnot. So it's not about me coming now to teach stuff from section A. I'm not coming now to teach remainder theorem. I'm not coming now to teach series. Right? I hit in your past papers. If you realize that you have an issue with a particular topic, you have the opportunity still to go back and spend the time that you need to spend. Of course, as we all know, making the time and taking the time, that is the biggest challenge for everybody. Right? Students have SBAs and all that, etc., etc., etc. So it's a fight. At the end of the day, it's a fight. If your child willing to fight, and if you want to send them in a place where we're going down fighting, send them by me. Right? The number to call, 293-5712. 293-5712. You can send them for the maths alone. Sorry, for the Add Maths alone. focusing on the add maths, you could send them for the add maths alone, or if you want, you can send them for the add maths and the maths.